territory management is the bedrock of happy, high-performing teams. And why is that? Uh, with this capability, with territory planning tool, it's offered to sales leaders and reps an easy means to align territories based on the growth strategy of your business and your key metrics. So like, let's say that for the upcoming year, you want to reach a different geography, you want to engage more or hire more sales reps. So this is where territory management and this visual split, it comes into play. And through territory management, we can also give every rep an equal chance to succeed. So it's about, we're talking here about efficient resource allocation. We can, through territory management, we can distribute sales and service requests in an equitable way. And in the case you have like market changes or staffing changes, as I said before, you can respond to that with agility. Plus, territory management has a functionality there where you can model different scenarios. So it's about having the understanding that your workload, the sales rep's workload is equally split. You have coverage, and you can easily respond. And if you need to adjust, it gives you a means to do that fairly easily. I think that we can go to the territory models, Jim. I'll jump to the territory models, and I'll go into more detailing about this split and how to balance territories. So here you can see some categories, some territory models categories. Now, they are rarely as cut and dried as we see here. So I think that the takeaway in terms of planning your territory is that you need to find a balance. You cannot just simply say, okay, if you go with geography, let's say that you give state of California to one rep, state of Florida to another. This is not, you do not have any certainty in terms of equality. You've got to combine criteria here to find a balance. That's the best way to go. So you can also use the industry vertical as an option. Revenue ranges. You can assign accounts directly to each rep. There's an option as well. Now, you cannot just simply use that. I would say that it's not a good practice. You can group prospect companies by their headcount ranges. Or, it even says here that you can randomly assign territories. Well, this is, again, going back to the productivity perspective and equality, as we said, and the balanced workload. This is not a good practice. So with that said, I think let's go to the best practices slides, Jim. So one of the best practices here is that first thing is to understand what is the plan for growth for your company. As I mentioned before, are you willing to grow in geography? Are you trying to suit a new product into a new industry? Is your total addressable market larger in a certain industry than you first anticipated? Are you targeting a certain size of company for the next year? So your business goals, they need to be considered before like any planning strategy here in terms of splitting territories. Okay. Next one, Jim. Again, going back to that previous slide, it is about finding a balance. You can use number of companies, you can use geography, you can combine with the size of companies, you can also take into account the propensity to buy or the industry. What you cannot do is just simply say, okay, I'll give rep number one an X number of accounts, and the same number of accounts I'll give to rep number two, or I'm going to give you like these 5 zip codes versus another 5 zip codes. This is not a good practice. You are not going to have a balance that gives reps an equal chance for succeeding. So I think that this is the main takeaway here. It's about being fair. So Jim, next slide here. Above all, make it fair. So fairness is super important when creating territories. If reps they are not hitting their quota, maybe it's because they do not have an equitable territory. They have too few accounts. You need to keep on asking strategic questions and analyzing metrics, and you need to iterate and adjust whenever needed. Adjusting is fundamental. Of course, you cannot just give a territory this month and then like next month say, no, it's all different. I mean, you're going to make your reps pretty confused. It's not ideal, but it's about providing equal chances for succeeding, equal workload. If it does not happen, we for sure affect the morale of the team. It brings frustration. We know it can bring you attrition, staffing issues, and you lose, at the end of the day, you lose commitment. So overall, main takeaway here, be fair and adjust.